All right, you ready to do this? We're diving deep into these Section 301 tariffs, specifically what's going on with China. People want to know how it affects them, so let's get into it. We're looking at everything, official stuff, expert opinions, you name it, to help you navigate this whole tariff thing.
It's wild how much attention this is getting, that's for sure.
But let's rewind for a sec. What exactly are we talking about when we say Section 301, and why should we even care?
It's been around for ages, but the scale now and this focus on all the new technology, that's different. Technology transfer, intellectual property. This isn't your average trade spat.
This is about who controls the future, isn't it?
100%. And the US is using Section 301 to basically push back against China. They say China's not playing fair, things like stealing intellectual property.
And now the Biden administration throws this new review into the mix. Tariff hikes on one hand, bringing back those exclusions on the other. It's a lot to keep track of. Let's break it down, starting with what's getting slapped with these higher tariffs.
This is where it gets interesting, especially if you're involved in electric vehicles, batteries, even solar. That Federal Register notice, it lays it all out, and we're talking some serious increases, like EVs, for example. Those tariffs could hit a staggering 100% by 2024.
Ouch, that's going to leave a mark. And solar's getting hit too, right?
You bet. Tariffs on those are jumping to 50%.
So not exactly music to the ears of anyone importing that stuff. But before we get into who's affected and how, let's talk about this exclusion process they're bringing back. What's the deal with that?
Now, this could be good news if you're importing certain things from China. We're talking about 312 very specific products under Chapters 84 and 85 of the Harmonized Tariff Schedule.
Now let's zoom out for a second. We keep hearing how these tariffs are supposed to protect American industries. But do they actually work?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, right?
Yeah.
And everyone's got an opinion on that.
It's almost like it's not as simple as saying tariffs bring back jobs, right?
You got it. Plus, tariffs, they usually mean higher prices for everyone else.
Is there a better way to deal with this whole China thing?
Well, that CNBC video, they threw out a pretty interesting idea. They call it flipping the script, basically. It would mean forcing Chinese companies to make their stuff here in the US. If they want to sell it here, that is...
Well, that's an interesting thought. It seems like that could actually create jobs here and make things a little fairer. So let's recap for a second. We've got tariffs going up on some key things. That exclusion process is back for certain products. And then there's the whole debate about if these tariffs even work or not. But at the end of the day, what does all this mean for the average person listening right now?
That's the real question, isn't it? And honestly, it all depends on your situation.
But what about everyone else? We're not all CEOs, but we're the ones feeling it in our wallets.
Yeah, for the average person, the biggest impact is probably going to be higher prices.
So what can people do?
Well, be a smart shopper. That's a start. Compare prices, look for deals. Maybe think about buying American-made if you can swing it.
Put your money where your mouth is. It's about who gets to write the rules of the game from here on out. And that's a conversation worth having, that's for sure. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and stay engaged.